Hey there, Joy the World friends and family. I am Joy. Welcome to your Freaky Friday. And if you are new to this channel, click that subscribe button down below, baby. It is free as always. Also, if you find you like the content we provide here, Joy the World, give us that big thumbs up. Be generous with your likes, your shares, your cares, your comments, your compliments. Anything down below begins to stir up some YouTube. YouTube gets hot and bothered and starts to send this message out around the world. And then other people can receive it and tune into their own energy and golden up. Each person who goldens up makes our world a brighter, better, bolder place because you are in it. So thank you for taking the time to do that. Now, it is a little freaky to me because I looked at the message. It came out this big old chunk and they had me spread it out where normally things just fall and I look at it when we get together. But it was like a stair step, a stairway to heaven. But it's saying from heaven down to earth. And they had me sit with each card, not opening it, but just like the door of each card. And then I understood why the message was slow. The message is talking about your heart. We have an energy color card coming in, the emerald. Calm your mind, body, and soul. This is 30. It is about the divine trinity, about making room and space for the fullness of who you are in this energy, in this channel, okay? Now, remind you, I said it's a little freaky because it's not quite that normal. It's talking about your best day ever coming in, and this isn't a singular day. This is a season. That's why it took a minute, because it's 7 days. It's about a week. It's about shifting yourself, shifting your energy as we're moving into the holiday season, especially if you're in North America. There's a number of holidays, no matter what you ascribe to this time of year, whether it's school plays or whatever else going on, lights, festivities, feast, foods, some of you fasts, whatever it is, they're saying slow it down. This year, they're asking it to bring it in, smooth it out, and make it more low key. Be a little bit more decisive as to what you physically apply yourself and involve yourself in, not just anti-COVID measures. They're talking about your mind. Letting your mind think that more is better, going out is better, or, embellishing it, dressing it up, fancying it up makes it more festive. It's talking about drawing into the simplicity of the creativity of your heart, and reconnecting with yourself and with the energies going on around us, because this time in and of itself is energetically magic. It begins to compress into this deep intensity. It's deeply nourishing and enriching, and it provides long-lasting effect, long-lasting results. They're saying up and around 6 months. And so when we forget to take this compression, this contraction, there's no pressure to it. It's a driving inward into the bones. Like if you live somewhere cold and you go out without your covering on, it's going to drive into your bones and you're going to feel chilled to the bone, right? Well, this is a refreshing and a renewal that presses into your bones, just like deciduous trees. Okay, those are trees that lose their leaves. Evergreen are those that keep them. Okay, so the deciduous tree, when it loses its leaves, it is a signal and a trigger to the tree to drive the nutrients deep within, to take it into the restoration, into the roots, into the earth, into the savings arena. Okay, friend, not the spending arena. We spend both our time, our money, and our Trinity, time, money, and energy, thus mind, body, and soul. That's why I'm no intelligent person here. I'm just the fool. I am just the microphone. Thank you, Spirit, for keeping us on point here. And they're wanting you to have a pool to refresh, something to draw from, to be well, okay? Like I said, this is more than a COVID speech. It's not even about that. They said, even if that weren't here, they're like, thank us that we put it here, that it's a blanket in order to draw us into a hibernation energy, because we got so excitable, so like charismatic in a like staticky type way that more is better, enhance it this, facet it like that, do this extra, do this, do that, turn it. And it got us kind of frenzied. That's the best way to explain it. It had us like frenetic and frenzied, and therefore it just kind of kept going. You ever gotten where you get so tired that you miss your little window of going to bed, that you have to stay up 2 or 3 more hours because you've missed it? And it's that hot, heady type energy, and eyes feel all popped in and googled out, and you just keep going, and finally you have to go, I make myself go to bed. It's been like that, and it's been a minute. We're talking 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years that this has been going on. So it was hard to retract and pull back in. It's not that COVID came just for that. There's a whole big world order coming in. But in order for us to accept it and embrace it, and not feel dominated or displaced by it, that would take away from the greening up. That would take away from the puddle in the pool. It almost cracked the bottom and cause it to leak out and waste and squander something that's such a gift and so beautiful. I mean, to love it, I forgot who the quote was by, but it said, all the oceans are contained in one drop. This one drop. Each drop is precious. Each refreshment is precious. Each moment, each minute, each day. And they want us to draw into that center and to begin to appreciate. Now, there's a full spectrum going on here, and it's talking about the balancing of time with yourself and time with otherness. That could be job, that could be people, that could be friends, that could be family, that could be things that are you're obligated to, whether it's self-obligation or whether it's extra obligation. You could maybe even be someone who does a blog, or you do some of these channels, right? And you're now trying to put out more and do more, and they're saying, oh no, baby, right now, drawing in is going to be enticing. It's almost like creating an umbilical cord of life, burrowing deep into your belly and creating a great outcome for the long haul. Do you trust? Do you trust, friend? I love you, and that's why I'm here. So I'm receiving this too. As y'all know, the magic miracle of this channel is I sit on the other side of the lens, and I receive, and I am fed from these as well. Otherwise, I wouldn't be telling the truth, would I? So we're going to start on the far end, the other end, because it's talking about Metatron's here. He's mediating between the community and the attachment. And they're talking about attraction, the lure to come in and to connect, to take on another phase, to sit and reflect from someone else's, like we were like, oh, I don't know if I should do that. Let me call my friend. Maybe I ought to go to that and get their input. Ooh, I love how they always cheer me up. It's more of the otherness, the external and all those type of things. But you see how kind of dull and gray and staticky and foggy and misty and like, they're saying conglomerate. It's very cobwebby-ish. But look at what Metatron brings. This is what's trying to come in right now, and it just kind of diminishes it. It's a lure to think that it's all goldness and it's great and there's grandeur and like grass is greener, that type of thing. But he's saying that I need you to tune into me. I am the perfection. I am the 40. I am the divine order, and I do know better. I do know what brings about the change that you desire. I know how to make that connection to bring you into your star fashion and form. I'm the one who contains your energy. It's with me. It's with us. It's not something outside of you. It's within us, is what he's talking about here. Okay, so let's move forward from that and wait, except something about that golden lantern. Okay, so this has a bit of it trying to piggyback into the center of who you are, being patient and waiting, feeling like waiting on help, waiting on others, waiting on help to arrive. There's a bit of a trick of thinking that the power's not in your hands. Okay, and this is to let us know it is. Everything outside of you, they're saying, is inside of you. Everything you desire, if you're wanting that festive feeling, it's inside of you. So ask yourself, ask your soul, what would make me feel festive today? What would add festivity to my holidays? It would drive into my bones and refresh and nourish and restore me and like green me up and wet me like that drop. What would add to my puddle, my pool, my beautiful reflecting space, okay? Okay, so from there, we're going to come this other way and keep moving in that direction towards the centrality of the patience. And this patience has to do, it's very progressive, okay? And it's pronounced, even though it seems muted and demure, and it seems kind of dismissive, as if it's, kind of like, you're so out of touch, and I am out of time. And they're like, hello, look into those eyes. That's what she has to say to you, okay, friend? And me. I'm talking to myself because, like I say, I sit on the other side of that lens as well. So over here, we have Gabriel, the angel of balance, and rest and rejuvenation coming in. Look at the difference in the colors here. Can you see this restoring of your truth, keeping in your truth? They're really wanting to purify and hone your seeds. So many of us, it's been the culling and the cultivating and the captivating and keeping things kind of separate for a while so that you can have your own unique signature and fragrance and divinity expression of who you are that's not tainted and polluted because you have had to spend more time with yourself, and not just away from people, but away from ideas that just kind of spread like a virus more than just the COVID. It's that sometimes we remember that reflection, we compromise a bit of the truth of who we are looking at others, and we don't tune into ourselves as much. I mean, any of us could do that. We could do that, but the stage and the energy has been set where it was so different that it did halt us more than we had expected. All right. And it's still ringing true right now. I can see that Gabriel's going to want to talk just like that woman's lantern. But here's that elixir of life, that elixir, that balance, the ancient wisdom's coming on in, the old ways being restored, because they're not foolish. Sometimes we do away with some beautiful medicine, some beautiful wisdom for the modern. We think, oh, this is the only way. So we're just going to trash that now and throw the baby out with the bathwater. But they're like, that is not the point. That is not what is here. This is that one drop that can refresh. This is like the miracle cure. This is that powerful thing. And we're about to find out what it is. All right. And it all begins and ends with you. You're the fresh wind, the fresh fire, your imagination, your health, your well-being, your rejuvenation, your stability, your ability, your confidence and self-assurance in who you are. So they're definitely wanting to get into the clouds right now. So let's find out about that rest and rejuvenation right here. Interesting. At the bottom, see we have the Three of Swords, but there are 4 beings there. Remember I was talking about don't get all caught up in the others, and their opinions and their feedback and their advice. Life has its own drop, and that's you. You're unique. And the reason why is they're letting me know here, you're the heart. These are the swords. Okay? Not that these people are out to get you. I'm not saying anything like that. You're the one walking your road and your path. You know what Spirit's been trying to tell you, okay? And you know what Spirit is confirming for you, what your guides are telling you. But this is just in general. The big idea is you're the heart, you're the dreamer, you're the one who imagines. That's why you're here at Joy of the World. You're here to bring forward your dreams of the heart, the ones from the back of the closet, your whole self, actually, and come on forward and step on in. Was that Virgo? No, I think it might have been Libra. Yeah, it was Libra being stuck in the closet. Baby. You're the heart. You're divine. That's why this green is here. Okay? See how parched the earth is, how difficult it's all been. You're the one who brings the cloud. You're the one who brings the mist. You're the one who brings the refreshment of life, because they talk about like the hoary breath, that the mist, the dew is what used to come across the land before rain ever existed. That's why it still rises up. That's how things were wetted and nourished and taken care of. And there were no floods, right? Now, I know they've seen goldness, but they're looking up to you. You're of a different level and of a different plane and a different place, which is why their information, their advice or whatever plays into a sword for you. That's why it shows up as like cobwebs. It is old. It is dusty. It's not this elixir and the ancient Cirrus energy, the Venusian energy of beauty and life here on earth that bring about well-being, that bring about restoration, rejuvenation. It's not that at all. It's something diminished. It's like vomit. It's like something that's already been digested and it's trying to go around again. And Metatron is like, look it through my eyes. So since he's talking, let's jump to some Metatron here. What are you wanting to do? Metatron's wanting to get to the true heart. Okay. So underneath, y'all, because something I did earlier, they're like, go to the bottom. I think it was Sagittarius. In the true heart here, he's wanting to talk about the Three of Cups. Because that's a lot of what this community card is showing here. It's the Three of Cups mixed with the Three of Pentacles, okay? Or the Three of Stars, the Three of Earth. But the one missing is you. But, it's okay if you're not there. You're not everybody's missing piece. It's not, oh, it'll be more fun if you're here. We wish you were here. We really missed you. He's like, don't let that pull on your heartstrings. Don't let that stir you up and dry you up and make you feel guilty or like out of place, or even to like convict you to make you feel like maybe I did miss it. Maybe I did miss a piece of my puzzle or something that was meant for me, or I missed out. No. That's very much what he's talking about here. You didn't miss out. It's this lantern's lighting up again. You are the light. You are delight. Not just the light. You are delight. Like delight, the group that sings, right? So sometimes your absence is necessary. It's Metatron. Sometimes your absence is required for it to be the best it could be. That experience is you being missed, you not being there, because that missing of you, that you not being there, it stirs up an energy to awaken people to think, what is it that we miss? And it brings like a renewal of the value of who you are. Not just where they express it in accolades or whatever, you know, these strings of words out of their mouth. It really is that people begin to celebrate and appreciate who you are when you're there, to honor your time and your presence when you were there, to not just lean heavy on it or take advantage of it or squander it. Not that they're necessarily doing that, but remember, you are from a higher level, a different place. You bring the mist, you bring the clouds, you bring the imagination, you bring the dreams. And that's very costly to you. And you're not the one measuring the cost because you are verdant, you are green, you are vital, okay? But you're not here to fill that vitality for everybody. Sometimes your absence, like a syringe, when the syringe begins to pull, it's that little gap, that empty space that begins to draw that elixir in there. And then they have the opportunity to think, you know, and it can stir it up in them as well. Communication isn't just the words flying out of your mouth. It is the dramatic pauses as well. It's the rests in music that allow us to digest, okay? Not just for yourself, but for others as well. And that's what he's wanting you to know that is important and is cosmic of who you are. It's the withdrawal of self that can also bring that desire and that entity of excitement into their world. And appreciation into their world, into the world around you, okay? So know when to hold them, know when to fold them, all right? That talks about the divine order. And that keeps everybody goldenness. It keeps it all in proper order so that nobody is put out of joint, okay? Keeping you centered and aligned. You're wanting to know a little bit more about this rest and rejuvenation. So let's step in there and see what we have. Is this the card? Okay. So we're going to... That's not it, because you're making me dizzy. You don't have to slap me around like that. Okay? Rest and rejuvenation. So it's coming about 51 healer. The age is 37. The perfect 10. Third chakra, Shamuel. Okay? Restoring your glow. And glow, in one of our other readings, we found out is your glory growing. So that's what glowing means. Taking time until you can see your glow, until you feel that way. It brings you into the balance, because the card of balance in this deck right here, the energy oracle, is a yin yang. And to me, that yin yang is the world. It is the globe. It is the sphere. It's not just these two things spinning around in front of your face. It's so much more dimensional and holistic than that. But so anyways, it goes from the cobalt, from the blue over to the yellow, and the energies merging and melding, very much like what all we see in all these cards here. The blue and the gold, the blue and the gold, the blue and the gold. Your truth and your divinity. The divine knowing, because it's not always about what all we do. It's also about what we don't do. It's not about just what we say. It's also about what we don't say. It's not just about where we go. It's where we don't go. There's always a duality to every decision we make, because when we say yes to something, we're saying no to something else, okay? And so that teaches us the power of our presence, very much what this patience card is talking about today. Because you know what, if you step in somewhere you shouldn't be, you're filling a gap in a space that was meant to be there, either to have this void going on to produce the space for that delicious elixir of life to come into their realm, or you're taking the space of someone else who's supposed to be there energetically. That's something to think about, isn't it? Okay, so since we're talking about that rest and rejuvenation, we're talking about the healer of the ages. This is about more than just you. All right, so they're wanting you to practice this restraint. That's it. So remember, I said Gabriel has something to say. Gabriel, where do you want to speak from? He's wanting to talk from the clouds. So let's go into the clouds and a Mary L. Clouds and a Mary L for Gabriel. 39, talk about creative endings. That's like not just a dramatic entrance, that's a dramatic exit. Oh, that's funny. It's a dramatic exit. We have the Six of Swords. We have the Six of Spades, the pips going on here. It's about you. Look at it. It's plowing right on ahead. These aren't those super calm that they all talk about, but it's not turbulent waters. They said there's a disturbance in the atmosphere, and that is your energy and your excitement about moving forward into this new truth, about embracing it, having the permission to do to celebrate you, friend. And that turns your wings to gold. Well, the wings are your imagination. And gold is that divine alchemy, because what it really is your divinity. Knowing that your destiny has a divine role as well, your divinity, that goldness energy of who you are. And they keep saying the synergy of who you are as well. Now remember, he's calling for a Mary L. So something about the pink right here, about the imagination, your divinity, and you being ready and excited about going over. Okay. Over where? You going over the moon, baby. Are you in love? Apparently so. Apparently so. You're in love with life. More than that, when you're in love with life, that's like when you wish for more wishes. That's like having a genie, you know, and you are your genie. If you ever tune in to when I do the readings with the Mary L, you are your genie. Your own belly do you rub. Samuel. Samuel is the author of peace, okay? And EL means it is a collective, dynamic, multitudinous energy. It's not just one thing that gives you peace, that awakens you, that warms your golden glow, that turns you on, that peaks you up, that wakes you up in the morning, that puts you to bed at night. It is that divine tuning of the streams, that everything is as it should be. That's trust. I remember them speaking that when we were beginning, and that's trust. They're talking about that being your blank slate, your blank canvas. That is what you're known for. It's your hallmark, your trust. Flow as you go. And that isn't like laid back. Laid back is someone who just like lets it just wander wherever. No, the flow as you go is your eyes are open. You're almost crow's nesting down inside the boat because you have your higher guide do out of your head, like that drop. You know, like that snork, you got snorkel on up here, but instead of a submarine down beneath, you know, you got Pisces, you're up above the water now. You're cruising all along. Like I got my IC in Pisces. You got your IC in Pisces because that's where they're coming, friend. That's where they're turning that wheel and they're stepping into this moon. Stepping, ooh, whoa, speak it. Oh, and that's coming along with Gabriel, remember? Divine breath. What's happening, Gabriel? He still has something to say, y'all. And you know, often our truth is our example. It's not just speaking something, it's literally believing it, that the waters begin to move in front of you because they feel you coming. They feel it in disturbing, not in like a negative, derogatory way, but like the running of the bulls. When you feel the bulls you get out of the way, right? And you let that energy come on through. You let that message come on through. You have a message coming on through, friend. You have a message coming on through. There is an arc ray, A-R-C, an arc, like an energy arc, arcing over, coming through as a ray. There's so much of like the crow meets the butterfly. What the heck is that? And it's like a scissoring, like a thinning and a shearing and a paring down, like a decisive action, thinning out the herd, culling the herd, pruning the bush, thinning things out. Clearing your mind is what he's talking about. This is the pillar of your mind. There is this beauty and this sculpting going on up around your crown, and your crown is expanding and growing in this divinity. And you know it. The time is now, friend. That's the moon that we are in. The time is now. And this is you mounting up in those wings. No longer like a dirge or a sadness or a damnedness is what they're talking about. Okay, clearing away the beaver energy. Gabriel, a little bit more, please. He's calling for Tarot of the Spirit. So what do we have at the bottom? We have the Father of Wind waving the white flag. There is that synergy. Ooh. Somebody here is itching for a relationship, a divine partnership, and they are talking about it hard. Yep. Let love in. Let love in these two lips. This message The yes, the okay, the thank you, the agreeing, the confirmation needs, he's talking about here, to come into your lips. And it is divined by him. This is ancient. We have like, I don't care what you say. All right. The friend, they just saying this is ancient Horus energy. I know what you think because I'm here with you. And I'm like, my mind has been that. No, ancient Horus energy. So if you, okay, they're playing on words. Horus, horoscope, Horus energy, horse energy, the power of your horoscope, the power to drive your horoscope, to know who you are, to know in full measure, just like the speaking and the intonation of your words. It's not just letters coming together. They come together in a divine pattern to execute what you knew on the inside, to communicate it outwardly, both in the timing, the meter, the tone, the everything. You're like some giant grand piano that's being tuned and is about to be played by the maestro, by the master. He says, the master. Who is that? Y'all, if you're still here with me, blessings on you, because he's got a divine hand opening up. It's the hand of honor. It's the hand of honor coming on in. The hand of honor is coming for you. The one, the keeper of their word. Okay? The truth teller. Not just the one who follows along and goes along. This is both awakening in you, friend, but also in the world around you. There's another. There's another. There's another. Do you see it? Divine power. Cosmic egg. There's that yin yang, the spherical balance of the presence and that peace. The rising up of the ancient whale. That's got me tense right here. I don't know who that is. It's the rising up of like the ancient whale, the ancient narwhal, talking about the ancient mammalians. So like from the depths of the water, the wisdom, like Atlantean type wisdom. So for those of you who are wondering, horoscopes back then, of how they knew, yeah, your spirit's all moving in here, how they connected with the stars, how they connected with the stars. We're going to hit one more over here because that's what we're calling for. This is the moon magic medicine. How do they hit with the stars? Okay, so we have waxing quarter in the new moon. So this is what's been going on the last week, the sacred darkness in the channel to action. Dreams are your destiny, but we already know that. Something about a cat. Something about a cat. This cat with one ear. This cat. I don't know who that is, but this cat with one ear. And I know they were kind of whispering earlier when the color cards were moving, like the one that this came from, that talked about your hearing. Being able to hear the whole story. Paul Harvey, the rest of the story. Moving into the rest of the story. Maybe it's because you've been alone for so long that that's all you've known. Because, I mean, they're showing it, you know, more pyramids here. And I don't feel like we're going back on everything we said here. This is like almost moving into the new year when the tide starts to turn in its time again. You will know. You will know. You will know. You will know. Okay. So I tried to pick it up and these were left behind. And of course, it's right at the moon. It's right at the moon. So this is what we need to know. We have 10 of Cups, 2 of Swords, and 8 of Wands. There's that egg. Remember what I was saying over here about that egg? Here's that egg. This is what's inside of this. Hit your mark, make your mark. There's a reason why you've got savings going on. Because if you don't store up and shore up the truth of who you are, the fullness of who you are, like the fullness of a fountain. If a fountain isn't filled, it can't circulate through the pump. Okay, and then it gets nasty and gross and all your finances go out. All your dreams go out. It's such a mess, okay? I used to do feng shui consulting for people and it would happen. Usually in the most probable kingdoms. But that's what you're talking about here. Hitting your mark, making your measure. Knowing the truth of who you are and allowing it to stoke your fire. Allowing it to get in there and kind of, they're saying, disturb you. Like remember disturbing the waters out in front of you? It's rippling, the shockwave, this decision to focus on you, to nourish yourself, is shockwaving out. It's causing a ripple and it's going out. And is it, how did that get all to, what the hey? It's causing it to turn. like the thing that spins on top of a boat. The, what is that thing called? It's kind of like a GPS or a radar. Also on a weather vane. Bringing in the winds of change. So when you do that, you change your spirit. And when you change your spirit and you set your sails, you allow yourself to align with spirit. That brings in new energy to you. If not, you're going to bring in people who are great, pretty good potential, some good fountains, but it's going to be stagnant energy. People who leak out, who dry out, who are always chasing the energy of something bigger, greater, better, instead of receiving. Okay, I hope you're understanding the mystery here, friend. That's what we've got. And I see a future. There is like gatherings and functions and events and seats being filled. Seats being filled. So by your faith alone. By your faith in this, by your trust in this, it powers you up and it greens you up. And where were the two other things? Now, this is interesting because 2 of Swords and 8 of Wands, they're talking about come together to make the perfect 10. You wouldn't think it. You wouldn't think it, but it's the matching of the power. It's the energies coming in together. It's both earthly and cosmic at the same time. See what we've got going on here? It's very profusive. And it's that ancient energy. And it opens up that kingdom that we were talking about earlier. I know they're talking to mysteries, y'all, but very much so. And the life in the lungs, the verdant life, the life in your heart, the life of true love, the life of divine connection, of not having to chase it down and go out to get it and to go all over the place, of literally bringing heaven here to earth. It's about being attractive and captivating. Okay? So that is what Gabriel has had to say to us. That's why it is relevant for you to take this holiday time, this holiday season, and allow it to nourish you and to nurture you and to fill in and to focus on yourself. Please yourself. You know, celebrate yourself. Be festive. Gift yourself. Okay? You know, do extra little cozy things that just amp it up a little bit. If you love hot chocolate, put the spray of whipped cream on top if that's what you like. Do those little things that make it special, but you're doing it inside your home, inside your own space. And it is awakening a whole new level of life. Bringing in that dunamis power, the doubling power, where you see yourself, where you are loved and lovable, where you know and you are known. Matching energy for energy. Okay, thank you, friends, for showing up and giving us that amazing reading here. Also, leave me compliments or comments down below. Let me know what's going on in your world on the other side of this lens. It colors my world with love, and it thrills me to no end. Also, give it a thumbs up if you haven't already. If you have enjoyed this, subscribe if you haven't. It is free as always, and check back in. I will be posting the weekly read so that you can get a jump on your week. I love you all. Talk soon. Bye.